Hello everyone. In today's session, we will discuss tense topic. Today's topic is tense. So first of all, we'll jump to the basics of tenses. We have to understand the definition of tenses, that what we call a tense, what a thing or a word that defines a tense in a sentence. So first of all, I would like to tell you that tense is nothing. Tense is just a form of verb which specifies a point in time. Tense is nothing. Tense is just a form of verb which specifies a point in time. For example, if I write that they they will inform his parents, they will inform his parents yesterday. So as I told you that tense is nothing, tense is a form of verb. So here will inform will be considered as tense. Will inform will be considered as tense. And the form of verb which specifies a point of time, a point in time, is called tense. So here time is yesterday. So the time is yesterday and the tense is will inform. So if we understand the definition of tense, then tense is a form of verb. Tense is a form of verb which specifies a point in time, which specifies a point in time. Clear? Which specifies a point in time. So will inform here is a form of verb which specifies a future point of time, and the time or a point of time which is given here is past. So the time is past and the verb is of future tense. Clear? So this tense is not logically right, or we can say it is not written in correct form. It is an incorrect sentence because here the verb we are using is of future tense and the time given is past. So we have to satisfy the verb according to the time, not time according to the verb. We have to satisfy verb according to the time. We can place or we can use a verb. A verb is used according to the time given. Clear? Time will not change in any kind of circumstances. Time will not change according to verb. Only verb changes according to time. Clear? So the correct sentence should be they informed. We have to use form of past tense. Why? Because yesterday is past point of time and verb should be used according to the time given. Clear? So you have to note one thing here, that time never changes. Time never changes. Clear? Time never changes. We have to place verb according to the time given. Clear? So tense is nothing. Tense is a form of verb which specifies a point in time. Clear? So this is the definition of tenses. I hope you all have understood it clearly. So the next thing is we have to understand the states of an action. There are different point of time, like there are present. First is present, second one is past, and third one is future. There are three types of time: present, past, and future. Clear? And we have different states of an action here. Like indefinite. Second one is continuous. Third one is perfect. And the last one is perfect continuous. You might have known about it, but I'll tell you the logical explanation of these states of an action. So these four states of an actions are to be read here. but I'll tell you the logical explanation how they are formed, how the states of an action are formed. So we have to understand first of all the basic states, and we are discussing here states of an action. There are different states of an action, so we will be discussing different states of an action. Clear? So, first of all, we have to understand the basic states of an action. Basic states. So, there are two basic states of an action. First one is like if it is a point of time, there are two different actions. First of all, we have to understand there are two different of action. First type of action is the action started at a point of time, goes on, and ends at different point of time. Clear? Action started at a point of time, goes on and ends at this point. At this point, we call this action a completed action. At this point, we call this action a completed action. Clear? And the second type of action is if action starts at this point, clear, goes on and will end at a point of time, but if we consider this action at this point of time, so here this action is incompleted. So the incompleted action are the action those are started at a specific point of time and will end at a specific point of time, but they are not completed at the time of speaking. Clear? So incompleted action. So second type of incompleted actions. So there are two types of actions. First is completed actions and the second one is incompleted action. So any kind of sentence which shows completion, comes under perfect tense. Any type of tense which shows completion comes under perfect tense. Clear? And the action which shows incompletion or the incompleted action comes under continuous tense. Is my point clear to all of you? Clear? So the action which is incompleted can be called progressive action because the action is in progress. Clear? So we can call it progressive action. Clear? So progressive action or incompleted action, all the action which are incompleted or progressive in nature comes under continuous tense, and the action which are completed comes under perfect tense. So there are two basic states. First one is completed action and the second one is incompleted action. Incompleted action comes under continuous tense and completed action comes under perfect tense. If the present time shows completion of an action, it will become present perfect tense. If the completion is from past, then it becomes past perfect tense, and if the completion will be of future, clear, then it will become future perfect tense. Clear? If the action is going on at the time of speaking, then it becomes present continuous tense. If the action shows continuity of any past action, then it becomes past continuous tense. And if the action shows continuity that will be continued in upcoming future, then it become future continuous tense. Clear? So there are two basic states we have understood. I think you all have understood it clearly. There should be no doubt regarding these two basic states. Clear? And the third state is action, those action which are not completed, or we can say the action neither completed nor continuous. Action which are neither completed nor continuous. Clear? These actions are kind of that repeated action. These actions can be repeated actions. These actions can be repeated actions, or these actions can be permanent in nature, or these actions can be frequent. So the frequent, permanent or repeated actions comes under indefinite category. Indefinite category. Why this comes under indefinite category? Because these are not completed nor continuous. So we have already discussed it that there are two basic states. One is completed action and the second one is continuous action. But those actions which are not neither completed nor continuous comes under indefinite, because uh, their states cannot be defined. Their states are not definite states. So the state which is not definite is indefinite state. So the action which shows no completion, which shows no continuity, comes under indefinite actions. Or in other words, we can say that these actions are repeated actions, these actions are permanent action and frequent action. Clear? So there are three types of states of an action we have already discussed. That first is indefinite, second one is perfect, and third one is continuous. Clear? And the last but not the least, perfect continuous. Perfect continuous is a state which defines partial completion, which defines partial completion plus continuity. Clear? So these action shows partial completion plus continuity. Now partial completion should be of time. Partial completion means the action is not fully completed, it is partly completed, and continuity should be of action. Clear? Like if I say I am reading a book, I am reading a book. First sentence is I am reading a book, and the second one is I am reading a book for 2 hours. Second sentence is first is I am reading a book, and the second one is I am reading a book for 2 hours. Clear? So the difference here is of time. So the difference we can notice here is of time. Like the first sentence doesn't convey any period of time or starting point of an action. It is simple, just a continuity of an action. It is just a continuity of an action. In second type of sentence, we can clearly see here that the action shows continuity of an action as well as some partial completion of time. Clear? So whenever we see continuity with partial completion of time, then it becomes perfect continuous tense. So it is wrong. We have to, so this sentence is written in wrong form. We have to correct it by writing this, that I have been reading this book. I have been reading a book for 2 hours. Clear? So it will become correct sentence. So we have studied, or we have learned 4 different categories. First is indefinite. Clear? Indefinite actions are, I'll tell you later. Second one is continuous. Third one is perfect. Fourth one is perfect continuous. So what types of actions come under indefinite tense? So they are frequent, permanent, or repeated actions. Clear? Second is continuous. Continuous tense is incompleted action, actions or actions going on, actions going on temporary basis, actions going on temporary basis. Clear? So the action which shows incompletion or the action which is going on the temporary basis comes under continuous tense. Clear? Now the third set of action is perfect. Perfect always shows a action which is completed, or we can say a completed action. A completed action. Clear? And perfect continuous shows the action which is partly completed and as well as which the action which is partly completed as well as showing continuity here. Clear? So the action which shows partial completion, plus continuity. Partial completion should be of time only. It can be a duration of time, it can be a starting point of an action, any kind of time. Clear? So the time should be showing partial completion of action, and the continuity should be of action. Clear? As I already told you. Clear? So there are 4 types of states of an action. So we can write here that states of an action are of 4 types. First is indefinite. Indefinite means frequent or permanent or repeated action. Second is continuous. Third is perfect, and the last one is perfect continuous. Clear? So these states are the basic of English language. These states are basic of English grammar. Clear? So these 4 states comes under present, past or future tense. Clear? Present, past or future tense. Now the main concern is how to write or how to structure these tenses. So many of you have already learned the structures or the or we can say the sequence of these tenses, but majority of students face this problem since their childhood. Yeah, or we can say the majority of students has been facing this problem since their childhood, or since the point they started learning English. Clear? So I'll tell you the shortcut, or we can say I'll tell you the logic behind these structures, how the structures are formed, or how we can remember these structures by just a short trick or just a little logic. Clear? So now I'll start the structure, or we can say how to form structures. So first of all, you have to remember that there are only 4 verbs we are using in whole the chapter, or whole the chapter of tense. Clear? So there are only 4 verbs, that is for verb 1, verb 2, verb 3 and verb 4. Only these verbs are used in all the tenses. So I think it is very easy to remember these 4 verbs like V1, V2, V3, V4. So it might be new for you that what is V4? V4 is V1 plus ing form. Whenever we add ing to first form of verb, it becomes 4th form of verb. So there are only 4 verbs that we have to use in all types of structures of tenses. Clear? So these 4 verbs shows their respective verb. Clear? Like ing form always expresses continuous tense. Whenever we find a continuous tense or we want to structure a continuous tense, we have to place V4 as a main verb in that particular structure. Clear? So V4 always shows continuous tense. Whenever you have to construct a continuous structure, it can be of present, past or future. Whatever it is, you have to place V4 as a main verb. So V4 shows continuous tense. Clear? So we use V4 in continuous tense. V3 shows perfect tense. So same agenda with the perfect tense. Whenever we want to construct a perfect tense of present, past or future of any time, if we want to construct a perfect tense, then we have to place third form of verb as a main verb in that structure or in that sequence. Clear? So these two verbs are dependent verbs. We can say these two verbs are dependent verbs. Dependent verbs means, what does it convey? The dependent verb is a verb which needs a helping verb. Clear? Dependent verb is a verb which needs a helping verb. So they are not used without a helping verb. Clear? So these verbs needs a helping verb. So one thing you have to notice, that whenever we place third form or fourth form in a sentence, we have to place a helping verb before them. Clear? They cannot be used without a helping verb because they are dependent verbs. Clear? So we have to use a helping verb before third form of verb, as well as we have to use helping verb before fourth form of verb. Clear? That's why we are calling them dependent verbs. So these two verbs are independent. Second form of verb is the verb which can be called as the least used verb. Clear? Least used verb means sorry. Least used verb means that we use this verb only in past indefinite tense. We use this verb only in past indefinite tense. Clear? And especially in positive sentence. In positive sentence. In positive sentence. Clear? So past indefinite positive sentence uses verbs second form of verb, and rest of the indefinite tenses takes V1 as a main verb. So in present indefinite tense or future indefinite tense, we use first form of verb. Clear? So I think these all verbs are clear to you, that first form of verb are used, or first form of verb is used in indefinite tense except past indefinite positive sentence. Clear? And V2 is the verb which is used only in one type of tense, that is past indefinite tense. And third form of verb shows perfect tense. Whenever we have to construct a perfect tense, we use third form of verb, and whenever we have to construct a continuous tense, we have to place fourth form of verb as a main verb. And these two verbs are dependent. Dependent means that these verbs need a helping verb. Clear? And independent verbs means that these verbs do not need any helping. Independent verb. Independent verb. Clear? So it means that do not need any helping verb. Do not need any helping verb. Clear? So now we'll discuss about the helping verbs of perfect and continuous tense. So the helping verb of continuous tense, so the helping verb of perfect tense is have forms. So the helping verb of let me pick the color of our pencil. So the helping verbs of perfect tenses have forms. Have forms. And have forms consists has, have and had. So the verb which has been encircled here is base form of verb, and base form of verb is always used in future time. Clear? So has have here is present. So we can use has or have in perfect tense as a helping verb when the tense is present. Had comes in past perfect tense and have comes in future perfect tense. Clear? So these are the helping verbs of perfect tense. Have in future tense, has have in present tense, and had in past tense. Clear? So now we'll talk about the helping verb of continuous tense. Continuous tense. So the helping verbs of continuous tense are be forms. Be forms means is mr, is mr. Second is was or were, and third one is be. Is mr can be used as a helping verb if the tense is present continuous or the present form of continuous, and was were in past continuous, and be is the base form, so it should be used in future tense. Clear? And now if we talk about verb being, it comes as a helping verb of V4 when the tense is perfect continuous. It doesn't matter what kind of perfect continuous it is. It can be present perfect continuous, it can be past perfect continuous, it can be future perfect continuous. We have to place been as a helping verb of V4 whenever the tense is perfect continuous. It can be present, past, or future. Clear? In all type of perfect continuous tenses, we use been as a helping verb of continuous. Clear? So these are the basics, or these are the logics of structures of tenses. Now the last thing you have to remember is that whenever you construct a future tense, you have to write a modal shall or will. You have to write a modal shall or will immediately after the subject. Why? Because shall or will shows probability, or we can say these are the modals of probability. So these are the modals of probability, and probability can be of only in future tense. Okay. Clear? So whenever we construct future tense, it can be future indefinite, it can be future continuous, future perfect, or future perfect continuous. We have to place shall or will immediately after the subject. Clear? In all kind of future tenses. Clear? In all kinds of future tense, we have to place shall or will after subject. Clear? So now I'll tell you the basics, or the basic structure of tenses. So you just have to understand that tense is nothing, or the structure of tense is nothing. Structure of tense is only the basic structure of tense is subject plus verb plus object. This is the basic structure of tense. Here we just have to learn how to use a verb in a sentence. If we got to know that how to use a verb in a sentence, we just have to place subject before the verb and object after the verb. Clear? So we do not have to understand, or we do not have to learn this how to write a subject or how to write an object. Subject is used before the verb and object is always used after the verb. Clear? Now you just have to understand that how to use a verb. Clear? Now if you want to construct any structure correctly, you have to remember all these things which I have taught you. Clear? That there are only four verbs: V1, V2, V3, V4. There are only four verbs: V1, V2, V3, V4. And V4 expresses continuous, V3 expresses perfect, and V2 expresses past indefinite tense. Clear? And V1 expresses rest of the indefinite tenses like present indefinite tense or future indefinite tense. And after that, I categorized these verbs into two categories, that is dependent verb and independent verb. Now dependent verbs are the verbs which needs a helping verb. Clear? So the dependent verbs are a third form of verb and fourth form of verb. Now dependent verbs needs a helping verb. That's why we have to place a helping verb before third form of verb. Third form of verb cannot be used without any helping verb. And same case with the fourth form of verb. And same case with the fourth form of verb. Clear? So now we'll understand how to construct the structures of tenses. ये ना एक फोन आ रहा है विशाल सर कर रहे हैं नहीं कर रहे थे कह रहे बुला था हाँ मेरे को बुलाना है हाँ कह रहे क्लास के बाद मिलेंगे अब ये जो है ये लड़का कॉल कर रहा है इसको कॉल करके इससे चाबी ले लेना और उसको ये वाली चाबी दे देना अभी आएगा इसको बोलना उसके सामने खड़ा हुआ है ये अभी नीचे खड़ा हुआ है सर क्लास में और इसे ना इसको बोलते हैं इसका एक्टिव वहाँ खड़ा हुआ जो एक्सप्रेस रूल वाला है ना उसके सामने खड़ा हुआ इसका ठीक उससे वो चाबी लेनी ये वाली चाबी देनी हाँ clear. So we just have to understand that how to use a verb. Now I'll tell you that how to use a verb. Clear? For example, if we want to construct past perfect tense, if we want to construct past perfect tense, past perfect tense, if we want to construct past perfect tense, then first of all we have to understand the state of action. We have to catch the state of action. The state of action is here perfect. So in perfect tenses we use third form of verb. In perfect tenses we use third form of verb. Clear? Now we have to identify whether the verb is dependent or independent. Now third form of verb is dependent. So the third form of verb is dependent verb. Clear? So third form of verb is dependent. Now it means that it needs a helping verb. If we jump to the logics, then in past time or past perfect tense we use had as a helping verb. Clear? Now we place had before third form of verb. Now this verb is completed. Clear? Had plus V3 is completed. So we just have to place subject before had plus V3 and object before after the verb. Clear? So subject before the verb and object is after verb. Now your past perfect tense is ready. So we can construct any kind of tense by using these logics or these concepts. Clear? If I want to construct future continuous tense, what? Future continuous tense. If I want to construct future continuous tense. Clear? Now future continuous tense is, now first of all we have to understand the state of action. State of action is continuous, like V4 should be used. V4 should be used here. Now V4 is dependent verb. So what it means? What it means that we have to place a helping verb before it. Now helping verb should be used according to the time of tense. Now future. Helping verbs of continuous are be forms. Is-MR is used in present tense. Was-were in past. And base form be is used in future tense. So we have to place be before V4. Clear? Now this verb is completed. If this verb is completed now, so we have to place subject before the verb and object after the verb. But this is future tense. So we have to place shall or will immediately after the subject. Now this becomes future continuous tense. So your structure of future continuous tense is ready. Clear? If I say we have to construct past indefinite tense. If I say we have to construct past indefinite tense. We have to construct past indefinite tense. So we have already learnt it that past indefinite tense takes V2. Past indefinite tense takes V2. So now we have to identify whether the verb is dependent or independent. So the second form of verb is independent. It doesn't need any helping verb. So now the verb is already completed in itself. So we have to just place subject before the verb and object after the verb. So your past indefinite tense. So the structure of past indefinite tense is ready. Clear? So you can construct any kind of tense. You can construct any kind of tense by using these concepts or by using these logics. Clear? So now you guys have to make structures of tenses of like any state of an action of any time, like present indefinite, past indefinite, future indefinite, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and future perfect continuous. Clear? So we'll meet in our next class, and I'll tell you the structures. I'll tell you the right sequence of structures. Before that, you have to make these structures by your own. Clear? Thank you so much for this precious time. We'll meet in our next class. Thank you.
Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. In today's session, we will continue our 10th chapter. We have already discussed many basic fundamentals of tenses, and in this session, we'll continue this series and we'll discuss some important concepts related to tenses. Clear? So, as I have already taught you the concepts regarding how to make structures, how to structure uh, different type of tenses and the different states of action. So I'll give you a recap of that concept. So we have already discussed that there are only four types of verb uh, which are used in tenses like V1, V2, V3 and V4. Clear? So the least used verb here is second form of verb, that can be used only for past indefinite, especially in positive sentences of past indefinite tense. So ing form represents continuous tense and third form of verb represents perfect tenses. So whether it is present, past or future, if the tense is perfect, we have to use third form as a main verb in a sentence, and fourth form when the sentence is in continuous state. Clear? So these two verbs are dependent verbs. Third form of verb is dependent, it means that it needs a helping verb. It cannot act independently in a sentence, it needs a helping verb. And if we talk about fourth form of verb, it is also of the same kind, that it also needs a helping verb, it cannot act independently. But if we talk about second form of verb or first form of verb, they are totally reciprocal to them. They are independent verbs. Independent means that they do not any helping verb before them. Clear? And second form of verb is purely an independent verb. It doesn't need any kind of helping verb in any type of sentence, whether it could be uh, it could be positive, negative or interrogative. In all, we can say that second form of verb is only used in positive sentence of past indefinite tense. Clear? We cannot use this type of verb in negative or interrogative type of past indefinite. We can only use it in positive sentences. If we talk about first form of verb, it represents indefinite tenses except past indefinite positive form. Clear? If the tense is present indefinite, we use first form of verb. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be a positive, it can be a negative sentence, it can be an interrogative, it can be an interrogative come negative sentence. Clear? We use only first form of verb. Clear? Sometimes we use s or es with first form of verb. It depends on the subject that is written in the sentence. If the subject is third person singular case, we use ses with the verb, and if the subject is first person plural case, second person plural case or third person plural case, we use only base form of verb without s or es. We can say first form of verb without s or es. Now we'll jump to the helping verbs of perfect and continuous. If I talk about the helping verbs of perfect tense, they are have forms. Have forms means that has have and had. Has have comes in present tense. In present form, had comes when the tense is past, and have is a base form. Base form is always used in future type of tenses. Clear? So Base form of continuous and perfect tense are always used in future type of tenses. Clear? So if we talk about the helping verbs of continuous tense, they are B forms. B forms like ismr. Ismr is used in present tense was verb when the tense is past, and base form like B is used in future tense. Clear? And one form of verb, one form of helping verb is also there, that is been. Been is used when the tense is perfect continuous. Been represents state, not tense. That represents state, perfect continuous. If the tense is perfect continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, or future perfect continuous. Clear? We use been as a helping verb before V4. Clear? So from these concepts or these techniques, we can construct any kind of tense by our own. Clear? Like I had taught you when I wind up my session. So I'll again teach you how to construct tenses. So if I want to construct, okay, the last thing that we have to remember is we have to use shall or will after subject, immediately after subject, when the tense in future form. Clear? When the tense in future form, or we can say the time is in future form. Clear? So we have to use shall or will immediately after subject. Clear? Immediately after subject. Now if we want to construct future continuous, like we take an example of future continuous tense. If we want to construct a future continuous tense, we just have to remind that the basic structure of any kind of tense is subject plus verb plus object. Clear? We need not learn this, that how to place a subject, how to place an object. It is fixed that a subject is used before the verb and an object is used after the verb. Clear? We just have to understand that how to use a verb in a sentence. So first of all, if we want to construct future continuous tense, then first of all we have to decide what is the state of the tense. Clear? First of all, we have to identify the state of the tense. So here we are talking about future continuous tense. What? Future continuous tense. So first of all, we have to identify the state. The state is continuous. If the state is continuous, we have to place V4 as a main verb. Clear? Now we have to decide whether it is a dependent or an independent verb. So as we have studied that V4 is a dependent verb, it means it needs a helping verb. Now we have to place a helping verb before it. Now we have to identify the helping verb which can be used before V4 in future continuous tense. So helping verbs are always used according to the time given. Clear? So time here is future, and we already know that B form, like base form of any verb, can be used as a helping verb in future tenses. Clear? So the base form of continuous tense is B. So we place B before V4. So our verb is completed here. Now we have to place subject and object. So subject is always placed before the verb. So we'll place subject before the verb. But we also know that in future tenses we have to place shall or will immediately after the verb. So the sequence is subject plus shall will plus B plus V4 plus object. Object is always used after the verb. If the verb is transitive, or if the verb needs an object, then it has to be placed after that particular verb. Clear? So we can construct any kind of tenses by using these techniques or tricks. So I think you guys have already understood this, and we'll jump to the concepts related to tenses. Clear? So our next target is to learn how to make sentences. So I'll tell you about the different type of sentences. from which our first sentence is assertive sentence. Our first sentence is assertive sentence. Clear? Assertive means simple sentence. Assertive means simple sentence. So there are two subcategories of assertive sentences. Like first one is affirmative. First one is affirmative. Affirmative means positive sentence. Affirmative means positive sentence. Clear? And the second type is negative. Second type is negative. Negative sentences are the sentences in which we use not. Clear? In which we use adverb of negation, that is not. Clear? So second type of sentence is negative sentence. Negative sentence. Now, first one is assertive and the second one is interrogative. Interrogative. Interrogative means the sentence in question form is called interrogative sentence. Clear? And subtype or subcategory of interrogative sentence is the sentence which is negative as well as interrogative. We can call it interrogative cum negative. What? Interrogative cum negative. Clear? Interrogative cum negative. So we need not learn all these type of structures or or we can say this vicious web. We just need to identify that how to use subject and verb. Clear? We just need to learn that how to use subject and verb. So we'll take an easy example like we have received a parcel. Clear? We have received a parcel. So if I want to mold it in negative sentence, I have to place not. So first of all, we should have known about the use of not, or we can say adverb of negation in a sentence. How to use that particular word not in a sentence. Clear? So I'll tell you there are two types of uses of adverb of negation, that is not. So first use is we can use it before main verb. We can use it before main verb. Before main verb. MV is here main verb, and the second is we can use it after the first helping verb. We can use it after the first helping verb. First helping verb. If there are multiple helping verbs in a sentence, we have to place not after the first helping verb. Clear? If there is only one helping verb in a sentence, we have to place not before the main verb. Clear? So if we see here, received is main verb, have is helping verb. So we can see here clearly that there is only one helping verb. If we want to make the sentence in a negative form, so we have to place not before the main verb. So the sentence should be, we have not received the parcel or a parcel, whatever it is. Clear? So if we want to make a sentence negative, we have to place not before the main verb when the sentence is carrying only one helping verb. If the sentence is carrying more than one helping verb, so in that particular case we should place not after the first helping verb. Clear? So second type of sentence is the interrogative. If we want to construct interrogative sentence by using the example of affirmative sentence, we just have to interchange the position of helping verb and subject. We just have to interchange the position of helping verb subject. So in affirmative or positive type of sentences, subject comes first and after that helping verb and main verb follows the sequence. Clear? But in interrogative type of sentences, we just have to interchange the position of helping verb and subject. So helping verb comes first, after that we place subject. Clear? So the sentence should be have we, and rest of the sentence remains unchanged. So have we received a parcel? Have we received a parcel? Clear? And at last we place sorry, interrogative sign. And again, if we want to make an interrogative sentence negative, we have to place not before the main verb or after the first helping verb. It depends on the number of helping verbs used in a sentence. Clear? So here is only one helping verb. So we should place not before the main verb, like have we. Now received is main verb, so we place not before the main verb. So have we not received a parcel? Have we not received a parcel? Clear? So these two tricks can help you make any kind of any type of sentence, whether it is assertive, interrogative or negative, any kind of sentence. We can make any structure by using these two tricks. First trick is use of not or use of adverb of negation, that is not. And second one is how to structure interrogative sentence by using the structure of affirmative sentences. We just have to interchange the positions of subject and helping verb. Clear? Good. Now we'll jump to the questions. So our first question is, it will take two to make a quarrel. It will take two to make a quarrel. It is a proverb. Proverb are the phrases which are experienced on our personal experiences or the experiences that are generally faced by people. Clear? So proverbs are always permanent in nature. They are always permanent in nature. So you have to remember one thing, that the action which is frequent or permanent should be written in present indefinite tense. So we have to write this particular sentence in present indefinite form because this is a proverb and proverbs are always used in present indefinite tense. So will should not be used here. Clear? So the sentence should be, it takes two to make a quarrel. So first form of verb plus ses comes when the subject is he, she, it or any name in singular form, and ses with first form of verb should be avoided when the subject is I, we, you, they or any plural form Clear? Like if I write here a bed carpenter has always quarreled with his tools. A bad carpenter has always quarreled with his tools. So this is also a type of proverb. Clear? So proverbs are always used in present indefinite tense. So we have to write it that a bad carpenter always quarrels with his tools. Clear? A bad carpenter always quarrels with his tools. It shouldn't be written in present perfect tense. It should be written in present indefinite tense because it is a type of proverb. Clear? It is a phrase that is related to proverb. So proverb should be written in present indefinite tense. So the sentence should be, a bad carpenter always quarrels with his tools. Clear? Now the question number second is, water is boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. This is a scientific fact. This is a scientific fact. So scientific facts are always in, they are always in permanent nature. Clear? So scientific facts should also be written in present indefinite tense. We have to write water boils at 100 degrees Celsius because water is a third person singular case, name in singular form. Therefore we have to place ses after first form of verb. So sentence should be the water boils at 100 degree Celsius. Next, honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy is a type of idiom. So idiom, phrases, proverbs, they all are same in nature. Clear? So idiom should also be written in present indefinite tense. So the sentence should be, honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. Now let's jump to the next question. We have seldom gone there on foot. Now this word seldom is an adverb of frequency. The word seldom is an adverb of frequency. So whenever we use adverb of frequency in a sentence, the sentence becomes a frequent action. Clear? So a frequent action, as I have already told you that frequent actions comes under present indefinite tense. So we have to write it like, we seldom go there on foot. We seldom go there on foot. So the sentence should be, we seldom go there on foot. So whenever we see any kind of adverb of frequency in a sentence, the sentence become frequent, and the frequent sentence should be written in present indefinite tense. So I'm writing here some examples of adverb of frequency like seldom. Seldom is the first example. After that, usually, often, regularly, occasionally, weekly, monthly, every day, annually, etc. Clear? Whenever we see these type of adverbs or these type of adverbs of frequency, the sentence should be written in any type of indefinite tense. It can be present, it can be past, it can be future. Clear? Any type of indefinite tense can be used whenever these adverb of frequencies are seen in any type of sentence, or these adverb of frequencies are used in any sentence. Clear? So the sentence should be, I seldom go there on foot. Clear? Now next question is, I shall call you as soon as I shall reach home. So this sentence is carrying two future tenses in a sentence. Clear? So we cannot use two future sentences in one single sentence. Clear? So the concept is, whenever there are two consecutive actions of future, the first action occurred should be written in present indefinite tense. Clear? Like in this sentence, I shall call you as soon as I shall reach home. So I shall reach home is the action which should be occurred first. Clear? So I shall reach home is our first action. This is our first action. And after that, I shall call you. This action will occur after this action. Clear? So what will happen here? So this will become our second action, and I shall reach home is our first action. Clear? So whenever the situation is that there are two consecutive actions of future, first action should be written in present indefinite tense. So shall should be omitted here. So we should say I shall call you as soon as I reach home. Shall should be omitted. Clear? I shall call you as soon as I reach home. Is my point clear to all of you? Okay, great. Next sentence is also based on this concept. If I will go there, I will send you the books you have asked for. So we have to identify which is the first action. Which one is the first action? If I will go there, I will send you the books. So I will go there is our first action. First of all, he has to go there. After that, he will be able to send the books. So I will go there is our first action, and I will send you the books is our second action. So there are two consecutive actions. First action, I will go there, should be written in present indefinite tense. So we have to write it as if I go there. If I will go there is wrong. If I go there, I will send you the books. Clear? Now our next question is a question which is taken from previous year questions. This question has been asked in our one of the previous year question examinations. So when the question is, when you will find out a solution to this problem, you will become able to finalize the project. So here first action is when you will find out a solution to this problem. He has to find out a solution to this problem. Na? After that, he will become able to finalize the project. So our first action is when you will find out any solution to this problem. So first action should be written in present indefinite tense. So the sentence should be, when you find out a solution to this problem, you will become able to finalize the project. Clear? So our next question is, we learn English these days. So in present indefinite tense, there are some different uses of present indefinite tense. First of all, we use present indefinite tense in Proverbs. Second is scientific facts. Third is universal truth. Next is idioms and phrases. Third one is newspaper headlines. We can use present indefinite tense whenever the sentence is related to newspaper headlines. Clear? We can use present indefinite tense in near future fixed actions. If the action is fixed and is fixed for near future, then we should write it in present indefinite tense. Clear? And live commentary. Live commentary and the last one is whenever two consecutive actions of future. Clear? I hope you guys have already understood this. So we'll jump to our next task, that is we learn English these days. So the word these days represents continuity. Or we can say it is expressing a progressive action. Because we learn English these days. So these days represents progressive action or continued action. Clear? So whenever we see these words like these days, nowadays, clear? So we should use present continuous tense. So the sentence should be, we are learning English days. Clear? So use present continuous tense. So use present continuous tense, present continuous tense with these days or now are days. Clear? So our next question is, we are seeing with our eyes. We are seeing with our eyes. Now the problem is that the verb see is not a process, or the activity see, to see is not a process. It is a one-time action, and we can see here the examples like mind, remember, mean, think, know, suppose, please, see, taste, smell, prefer, hear, recognize, notice, have, belong, compromise, contain, consist, on, possess, believe, dislike, adore, wish, hate, trust, like, love, want, desire, agree, imagine, look, appear, resemble, require, hope, seem, affect, coast, become, refuse, etc. These verbs are generally not used in continuous form. Clear? Do not use the following verbs in continuous form, because these verbs do not express any kind of activity that can be made in process. Clear? So these verbs expresses some type of state of actions, or we can say thinking processes, or possessions, or possessiveness. Clear? So mind, remember, mean, think, know, suppose, please, these expresses state of mind. Clear? And see, taste, smell, prefer, these expresses perception, our perception. Here, recognize, notice, have, belong, compromise, sorry, not compromise, it's comprise. So prefer, here, recognize, notice also expresses perception. Have, belong, compromise, sorry, comprise, sorry again, comprise, contain, consist, on, possess, this expresses possessions. And believe, dislike, adore, wish, hate, trust, like, love, want, desire, agree, imagine, look, imagine. So the verb from adore to imagine is from state of mind. Look, appear, resemble, require, hope, seem, affect is related to our perception. And become, refuse, cost, and these are general verbs. So these verbs should not be used in continuous form if these verbs are not processed, not expressing any kind of process that can be made to go on. Clear? So see should not be used in continuous form. We should write this sentence as, we see with our eyes. We see with our eyes. First of all, this sentence comes under fact. It is a fact that we see with our eyes, है ना? So fact are always used in present indefinite tense. So second logic is that this is a fact. So facts are used in present indefinite tense, and the first logic is that these verbs cannot be used in continuous form. Clear? The food is tasting delicious. Our next question is, the food is tasting delicious. So a mistake here is not, we should not write like this, is tasting. This is our state of mind. So we should write, sorry, the food taste is delicious. The food taste is delicious. Clear? So you have to remember these verbs, that these verbs are not used in continuous form. Clear? So our next question is, we visited Delhi recently. We visited Delhi recently. Now, whenever you find these words in a sentence like yet, already, lately, recently, so far, ever. Clear? Use present perfect tense with these sentences, with these words. Use present perfect tense with these words. Yet, already, lately, recently, so far, and ever. Clear? So recently is used here. Now we have to write it as, we have visited Delhi recently. We have visited Delhi recently. Structure of present perfect tense is subject plus has or have plus third form of verb plus object. Clear? Present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. And difference between has or have is has and have is has is used when the subject is third person singular number, or we can say when the subject is he, she, it, or any name but the name should be in singular form. And have is used when the subject is I, we, you, they, or any plural form Clear? So now we see here lately, here yet, here ever. So transform these sentences into present perfect tense. They have been to some nice places. Been is third form of verb and have is helping verb. We didn't receive should be replaced with we haven't received. One more thing you have to remember, that yet always expresses negative type of present perfect tense. Yet always expresses negative type of present perfect tense. Clear? So we haven't received any parcel yet. So our next question is, this is the easiest question I ever solved. So the sentence should be, this is the easiest question I have ever solved. Clear? So our next sentence, whenever we find these phrases like this is the first time, it is the first time, this is the easiest, this is the worst, use present perfect tense. Clear? As we have already discussed this question number 4, that this is the easiest question. So we have to use present perfect tense in combining clause, or the clause comes next to this sentence. Clear? So now we'll discuss the most important question. This question has been asked many times in different type of exams. So we can say this question is like very important question. I dash him for 3 years. There are 4 different options. First option is no, second is have known, third is have been knowing, and the fourth one is had been knowing. So you have to identify the accurate or the correct option, and you have to click that particular correct option. Clear? Before discussing this question, I want to tell you that the verb know is also a verb which is related to perception or state of mind. You can see here that verb know is also related to perception of state of mind. So the option number 3rd and option number 4th should be omitted, because these verbs are used here in continuous form, knowing. So it is not accurate according to the rules of grammar or rules of tenses. So these 2 options should be eliminated, and option A or option B should be the right option. Now we have to decide which one is the right option. So whenever we use a duration of time with any type of indefinite tense, like if I say I sleep for 6 hours, it means that I always sleep for 6 hours. Clear? So whenever we use any duration of time with indefinite tenses, it becomes fixed. If I say I know him for 3 years, it means that we only know him for 3 years. After 3 years, this action will not be valid. So if I say I slept for 6 hours, it means I'm not sleeping at the time I'm speaking. Clear? I slept for 6 hours. This is past indefinite tense. So it means that this action is not valid at present. Clear? This action is not valid at present. So if I say I will sleep for 6 hours, I will sleep for 6 hours, it means that this action will become invalid after your sleep of 6 hours. Clear? So according to this concept, if we write here that I know him for 6 years, it means that it is kind of a contract that we are making with him for 3 years, that we will know him for 3 years. After that, uh, we are not acquaintance with each other. Clear? So this sentence is grammatically wrong, or we can say semantically wrong, because there are two types of things that should be followed. First one is syntax and the second one is semantic. These two criteria should be followed to make a sentence correct. Clear? I'll give you an example. Like if I say they killed me, they killed me yesterday. They killed me yesterday. Now the sentence is following the structure that should be followed, or the right structure. The sentence is following the right structure, but sentence is not following the semantic that should be followed. Like nobody can speak after being killed. Nobody can speak after being killed. So here the speaker is telling that they killed me yesterday. This is not possible at all. Clear? So this sentence is semantically wrong, but syntax is right. They is subject, killed is verb, me is object, and subject is written in subjective form, object is written in objective form, and according to the time, tense is also right. Tense is also correct. Yesterday represents past indefinite tense, and the past indefinite tense is already used in this sentence. So sentence is correct according to the syntax, but incorrect according to semantic. Clear? The sentence should follow syntax plus semantic, so that we can say that this sentence is correct. So if I say I know him for 3 years, this sentence is correct according to the syntax of sentence, but semantically it is wrong. Clear? Semantically it is wrong. So we cannot use present indefinite tense when there is duration with them. So the sentence, so the right option should be have known. We have known him for 3 years. Here 3 years is result. 3 years is result. Clear? So when we talk about result, we should use present perfect tense. Like if I write, if I say Virat has been scoring 70 centuries. Virat has been scoring 70 centuries since 2008. Clear? If I say Virat has been scoring 70 centuries since 2008, now here centuries, 70 centuries is a result till now. Clear? So since 2008 till now, he has scored 70 centuries. So 70 centuries is a result since 2008 to till now. Clear? So whenever we talk about result, we have to use present perfect tense, not present perfect continuous tense. So the sentence should be written like this, that Virat has scored 70 centuries since 2008. Clear? If I write like Virat has been scoring centuries. Virat has been scoring centuries since 2008. Clear? So here centuries is not showing any kind of result. Clear? It is not a result. If I write 70 centuries, 70 centuries is a result since 2008 till now. Clear? But if I only write centuries, so it is not a result at all. Clear? So it is, if it is not result, we can use it in present perfect continuous form. But if there is a result, if the result is given in any kind of sentence, we use present perfect tense. Clear? So Virat has scored 70 centuries since 2008. So same, the example number first, I dash him for 3 years. I dash him for 3 years. So 3 years, for 3 years is result. So whenever we see result in a sentence, we should use present perfect tense. So the sentence should be, I have known him for 3 years. I have known him for 3 years. Clear? Next question is, Mr. Sharma has died 2 weeks ago. Mr. Sharma has died 2 weeks ago. Now, let this line be a timeline. Let this line be a timeline. Clear? This point is present point of time and this is past. Clear? Let this point be the present point of time and this one is past. Clear? Whenever we go from present to past, whenever we go from present to past, we should use past indefinite tense. We should use past indefinite tense whenever we go from present to past. Whenever we go from present to past, we use past indefinite tense. Clear? So ago shows that we are going from present to past 2 weeks past. From present to 2 weeks past. So past indefinite tense should be used here. So Mr. Sharma has died 2 weeks ago is wrong, which Mr. Sharma died 2 weeks ago. Died 2 weeks ago. Clear? So whenever we see yesterday, ago, previous day, last week, last year, last month, etc. Clear? We should use past indefinite tense with these adverbs. Clear? With these adverbs, we should use past indefinite tense. Clear? So now let's jump to the next question, that is, perhaps you know that I have passed the examination in 2015. Now 2015 is past year. If we are in 2022 and we are talking about 2015, we are going from past to from present to past time. Clear? So if present to past, if we are going from present to past, we have to use past indefinite tense. So perhaps you know that I passed the examination time. So whenever any type of past year is given, we should use past indefinite tense there. Clear? My uncle has left for Mumbai last Saturday. Again, last word is used. So past indefinite tense should be used. So my uncle left for Mumbai last Saturday. My uncle left for Mumbai last Saturday. Clear? So these are the questions, you have to practice them. This is all for the day. Now we'll meet in our next class and we'll try to wind up our tenses chapter in that class. So you guys just have to practice this. You just have to revise whatever we have discussed in today's session. So we'll meet in our next class. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.